Alberto, you were the one who asked for this fight. You were the person who wanted to fight Tito Ortiz. Tell me why you were so gung-ho about fighting Tito Ortiz.
Well, it was not just about fighting Tito Ortiz. I wanted to fight a big name, someone important in the MMA industry or the MMA sports. Because I've been saying this since the beginning. I'm doing this for the right reasons. I want to inspire my country, the Latinos, my family. I want the company Combate Americas to get to the place where this company deserves to be. So if I go and fight a nobody, that's exactly what's going to happen for the Latinos, Mexicans, my family, and the company. Nothing. But if I fight somebody, if I'm leading with the example of taking challenges, always aiming high, I will say something to those Mexicans, Latinos, my kids, and I will have everybody looking at Combate Americas, which it was one of the reasons why I decided to take this fight or to do this fight, to put this company in the place where we deserve to be, because we've been doing an amazing job in the last 6 years. We're giving opportunities, we're creating jobs, we're changing the face of the Latinos in the MMA sport.
So you referenced, not just wanting to fight anyone, wanting to have a big fight, and you referenced wanting to do this for the right reasons. Why did you want to come back?
There's many reasons why I wanted to come back. That's the way Campbell McLaren and I, my boss and friend Campbell McLaren and I started our business relationship and then friendship was with Campbell wanting me to fight in the first Combate Americas event. Back then, I didn't feel hungry, but then situations of life, in life, made me rethink about pretty much everything. I got divorced. The battle for the custody of my kids was brutal, like horrible. It was a nightmare that I hope I never have to go through something like that again. It took a lot from me, from my mind, my body, my spirit, my heart, and I always had Campbell McLaren and Combate Americas supported me. Those battles when you doubt yourself, when you think you can win this fight, that was me back then, and I had Combate Americas' entire organization. I'm just mentioning Campbell McLaren because he's the head of the company, but all of them supported me. They fought that war with me, shoulder to shoulder, back to back. So you pay loyalty with loyalty. I come from a place, I know loyalty these days means nothing, but from the place where I come from, when somebody gives you his hand, his everything, without having to do it, because we're just friends, we're not family. And I had family members turning their backs on me, and Campbell McLaren and Combate Americas never did it. When I finally put all of that behind and life started to look the way it has always been for me, I said to myself, okay, how can you repay these people? How can you repay this company? And the answer was jumping back in the cage. That way we have everybody talking about Tito versus Alberto, Combate Americas, our first pay-per-view in history. And I'm leading with example. These kids, these athletes, they always see me helping Campbell run this company, and now they're going to see me inside the cage trying to do or doing something spectacular.
Now, the longtime fans remember that you competed in Pride, and after that you were very successful in WWE. While you were having your run in WWE, was there a voice in the back of your head that said, maybe one more fight one time?
Oh, always, all the time. It's just, I was so busy with the WWE that there was no time to train. I always had that voice telling me, one more fight, maybe one more. And I had offers from other organizations, Bellator, Deep, and Rise, and Rising, and many others wanting me to do one last fight, one more fight, but there was no time. And back then I wasn't, I don't know, I'm not, I was losing the passion for many things while I was in that company, and also I didn't feel hungry. And then after life put me through all of that, I started to feel hungry. I started to go to the MMA gym again just to relieve stress, just to clear my mind. And little by little, I started feeling better. And then one of the coaches asked me if I was planning on fighting again. And then I was like, yeah, why not? So I talked to Campbell. Campbell was like, man, you know, that has always been my dream, but do you want to do it? And this is important because based on who I am in Combate Americas, my position in the company, I couldn't fight anyone. I could have picked a nobody, someone just to beat him up and take the glory home. Go home with the glory, but that would have been nothing for me. We would have not make anything good for the company or anybody else.
So how has, now you're actually back in the thick of it, you're training, you look like you're in great shape, but this is kind of a young man's game. Like, how are you feeling? How's training camp going?
Oh, well, now it's fantastic. But when we started with this, when we said, okay, we're fighting, you have to go back to the MMA gym to get in fighting shape, because I have always been in shape, but not fighting shape. 6 months ago, everything hurted. Everything, like my eyebrows, everything was hurting. But then little by little, I started to feel better. My wrestling, my striking, my everything. Right now, I'm in the right place, the place where I'm supposed to be doing this. I wish I would have gone to Phoenix, Arizona 6 months ago, because now I can see the difference between one place and the other. The business, the sport has evolved in a crazy way from those days when I was fighting in Japan to today. But I have an amazing group of people, amazing fighters, Javier Torres, Ibi Dolloway, Ryan Bader, and the MMA lab opened their doors for me, and they're allowing me to go there, train with them, learn from them, and I'm always welcome there. That's what they've been saying since day number one. So I'm not just getting ready for this fight. I'm also building relationships that have become friendship, and I can tell you this. Now I feel these guys like part of my family. It's hard. It's hard for me. I'm in my 40s. I left my kids in San Antonio, Texas. I haven't seen my children, my family, my house, my nothing, and I'm there just waking up every day to go train, kick some ass, get my ass kicked, and then go back home to rest and eat, and then to do it one more time or two more times every single day. I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling fast, and right now I'm just at the 60% of my capacity. My wrestling, which is my main strength, is getting in a fantastic, and it's getting at point. Still more to improve, but I'm going to be ready on December the 7th.
Now, tell me a little bit about the side bet that you and Tito have, where he's putting up his UFC belt, you're putting up your WWE belt. I assume that WWE belt matters to you, that you wouldn't just give it away easily.
No, it does matter. To be honest, that's a fantastic idea. I know he's not too bright, but on this one, it was his idea. He came up with the idea, and it's a fantastic one. I wish it would have been me the one saying, "Hey, let's put the titles on the line." Regardless of pro wrestling being scripted and everything, you have to be an athlete, and you have to take a tool in your body in order to perform every single night and do 260, 290 appearances per year. You cannot fake gravity. When you jump off that top rope, it hurts. Of course, it's completely different than MMA. Everybody knows the difference. I remember Tito said, "Hey, Alberto, this is not the WWE." Man, come on, man. I know you're better than that. Everybody knows the difference between one and the other, but I'm not just a former WWE wrestler. I have been an athlete my entire life. I have been a fighter my entire life. Yes, we had different paths, but hey, it's like me saying, "Hey, Tito, you're not a wrestler," when I know he is a fantastic wrestler just because he was never part of the national team here in the United States, which I was. I was part of the national team in Mexico and competed all over the world. But I know he's a fantastic wrestler, so I'm not going to go and say something stupid like that.
It just, if you don't mind me keeping things with wrestling for a little bit, I'm just curious. Kind of a very exciting time in pro wrestling in the United States now. There's a brand new promotion that's on TNT. The WWE is still going. Are you following this at all? Do you think like, hey, maybe it's time for me to get back in the ring in the U.S.? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't really follow wrestling. I don't watch wrestling. Okay. I was not even watching wrestling when I was in pro wrestling. When I was working for WWE, I was never watching that because I was one of the ones doing 260, 290 shows per year. So when it was time for me to go home, I would go home to be with my children. And then after getting divorced, to be a single dad and to change diapers and take care of my kids and take them to school, sports activities and everything. So once I was home, wrestling was not part of me. I never let anyone come into my house and watching pro wrestling because, I wanted that's the problem with a lot of pro wrestlers. They cannot split or divide the cartoon world of pro wrestling and real life. And I never wanted to be one of those guys, and that's why I don't watch the pro wrestling product. I have my own company, pro wrestling company in Mexico, right, which I'm not like I'm running it from the distance, but I'm not there because I'm focused on my training camp. But that's the product I watch. Sure. But I know WWE has been doing amazing and will always be amazing because this is a thing that goes from generation to generation, and I know those guys from AEW are doing fantastic things. They have amazing athletes, good pro wrestlers in their roster, and they're gonna be just fine.
So to kind of sum things up here, are you viewing this as a one-time fight, or you're thinking maybe if this goes well, a couple more fights?
Well, I keep saying that it's just one fight. My boss Campbell keeps saying no, no. We're gonna be doing at least two or even three fights total. But right now, I can tell you that I will be doing just this fight. I mean, never say never, right? But if everything goes the way it's been planned, and I mean, I don't want to say that anything about the money because I'm not doing this because of the money, but it's an important part too. Right. I mean, nobody go work for free, right? But maybe I can. Right now I say no, but let's see what happens after the fight. I said the same in my very first fight in MMA in Japan. I said, God, this is the one and one only. No more fights. Then Mr. Saeki from Deep said, hey, I'm gonna give you $25,000 from one more fight.